organizations generally invest a lot of money into CRMs. So why is it that user adoption is even an issue? If it's something that has such an impact on the businesses will spend, small fortunes to be able to install and set these things up. Why is it that there is an issue with people adopting this solution? And why are we talking about user adoption to begin with?
Sure, that's a really great question. So, and I'm not going to suggest that there is a single silver bullet that is the right answer for everyone. Every organization has their nuances. There can be company culture that plays a role. Sometimes I've seen situations where a customer rolls out all of the right things from a technical perspective, and the CRM works, but nobody uses it. And that's indicative of a problem that has nothing to do with maybe the system itself. It could be the approach that was taken. So there's a lot of different pitfalls. So maybe what I can focus on is some of the things that I've seen are most common about why even despite a large spend in money, somebody might end up sort of struggling along. So one of the things that I think probably most commonly I see is that organizations will approach the project or approach the initiative, maybe misunderstanding what CRM is. So the thing that I want to point out is that CRM is not a system. It's not a software. It's a business process. So when we look at it and we think, hey, it helps to think, hey, we want to improve our customer relationship management. Or as we're more and more often grouping CRM into is customer experience platform, or we want to improve our customer experience. So I think it helps to start off with the mentality of we want to improve customer relationships, or we want to improve customer experience. And that starts to train you to think about this in terms of your customer instead of implementing a system. And the reason that that's important is because we're not talking about something that is mainly a technical undertaking. We're talking about something that is transformative for our organization. What we're trying to do is transform our customer relationships. We're trying to transform customer experience. And by doing so, we're going to achieve goals such as increasing revenue or making salespeople more efficient and those kinds of things. But I think it helps to start off by thinking about it as a business process or a transformative procedure that we're going through, as opposed to just a technical implementation. So I think that's the first thing that I would point out. So I think the next thing is, once we accept that, hey, we're looking at business process, then think about the technology. So does the technology needs to support our business processes or our practices. So we got to begin with the end in mind and think about, what does success look like? What are we trying to achieve? And then we need to see technology as something that supports that initiative, not something that is the end goal. So the end goal of a CRM project is not to implement a system. It's to transform our processes, to improve business relationships. And we've got to look at the system as something that supports that. So as we do that, we want to identify what our performance metrics are. That's especially important for management, because management have the things that they're interested in. But then we also have to realize that, and where user adoption tends to fail is just that, it's user adoption. We need to get data into the system. Imagine for a moment that if we had, if you started your own competitor to Facebook, and maybe it's got better features than Facebook, and maybe it's easier to use, or technically it's better. It's not going to be able to rival Facebook because of the number of people that are on Facebook. So you need people to actually adopt the system, and you need and the value is in the data comes as people adopt it, use it, and use it as a resource. And so no matter how good the CRM is, no matter how technically you do well at implementing it, if we don't begin with the end in mind, understand what we're trying to accomplish, and consider the user experience, we may, we'll never be able to actually achieve the value that we're looking for. So I think you have to start with the right perspective.
So, um, business process, to just recap, it's really
Mhm.
important to take a look at your business process and make sure that you're able to work that in how you want your customer to experience working with your organization, essentially. And
Yeah,
then choose the
correct.
technology that's going to help you to make that happen, essentially, that will make it easier for you to do that.
Yeah, I think the best implementations happen because there's a vision that they start off with, and they think about it in terms of the customer experience that they want to create, and they think about it in terms of also the user experience they want to create. Then, so what data do my salespeople need to enter into the system, or my customer service people need to enter in the system in order for us, from a management perspective, to achieve our objectives, which might be, if I was in management for customer service and that's my drivers, I might be looking to improve efficiency for my customer service team, obviously improve customer satisfaction and improve customer retention. And of course, in order to do that, I need to improve response time so that our team is responsive and maybe even proactive, and anticipate the needs of our customers. And so it's not enough, though, to say, oh, if I have a dashboard that shows me those things, then I know I'm going to achieve it. It goes a little bit further. If you make it a real big pain in the butt for your people to get through a customer call and track all of the data you want them to track, or if you have too many data points or make the screens too complicated so that people don't have a great efficient view of the customer, then you're not going to achieve your other end goals. Or if you implement a system that is more difficult to do than their old process, or doesn't give them more value to the end users who are entering the data, then you're not going to build value in the system. So you not only need to think about the success that management wants to achieve, but you have to think about the key wins that are in it for the users you're going to rely on to put data into the system. So if I'll give an example. The very first time that I would say I truly adopted a CRM system in my career, the best, it was because I realized that if I made sure my opportunities were logged in the system, it wasn't just because I wanted to make sure my manager could see those opportunities, although that was important. Uh, I knew if I put those opportunities in, that I could actually start to get some analytics out of the system and determine which vertical industries I was having the most success in. Where did I have the best win ratios? Which geographies tend to be the hottest for me? And so
Mhm.
being able to get analytics and insight like that into my business empowered me as an individual salesperson. And suddenly I started leveraging our reporting tools and our analytics tools, and I wanted to put data in the system because I wanted to be able to see the insight I could get from having accurate information in there. So we have to think about what's in it for the people that we're asking to do the most work.
So, we were talking a lot about ways in which you can help expand or get other people to leverage the system, use it. Uh,
Yeah.
CRM is generally been looked at as like a sales kind of a tool. Working with marketing and sales teams, that's kind of a misnomer. And we're seeing in the industry the use of the term CX, or customer experience, to pull in other areas of your business to leverage tools like this.